Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Week 2 edition of the Border NFL Gurus Commissioner's Address. And what a week it was, Week 2. Not a lot of key injuries yet. Aaron Rodgers managed to come back from his injury, supposed injury. But other than that, we everybody managed to stay relatively healthy, which is nice to see. Haven't had any key running back injuries, any key wide receiver injuries. Granted, Josh Gordon is now a Patriot. What are the Browns doing? I'm not sure. But, they stuck by this guy for 5 years, and then you cut him because he injures a hamstring or some bullshit. And, yeah, whatever. It is what it is, right? So... but let's dive right into Week 2 here because it was actually a real dandy. Two undefeated teams remain, and let's find out who they are. So let's go ahead and start with Joe Buck Yourself versus LOD. Still confirmed. I think that means Legion of Doom, but I'm not sure. So. Legion of Doom had a decent week here, putting up 129.5 points, and he literally would have beat every other team in the league except myself and Suck My Ditka. So, tough loss. Put up some decent points, just couldn't pull it together. Joe Buck Yourself taking this one 147 to 129, led by Deshaun Watson with 26, Stephon Diggs with a shade under 27, Will Fuller with 17. Just a solid overall performance for Joe Buck Yourself. And Joe Buck Yourself kind of bucking the trend from prior years of, maybe putting up 90, 100, 110 points and kind of flexing their offensive muscle here this year, getting some touchdowns, which desperately lacked in the past. So LOD led by Cam Newton with 33. A.J. Green had that big Thursday night game. Fuck all for yardage, but he had 3 touchdowns. And his kicker had 19 points. So he actually held the lead going into the Sunday Nighter. So, he had a decent outing, but that moves LOD to 1-1 and Joe Buck Yourself to 2-0. So that is one of our remaining undefeated teams, Joe Buck Yourself. So, see if he can keep it going into next week. Moving over to Billy Large versus the Panty Raiders, and this was actually a pretty solid game. Panty Raiders had a sizable lead going into Monday night, Bears-Seahawks game. And Tyler Lockett scored that late touchdown. Good thing Tariq Cohen left with an injury, or this one could have been a little too close for comfort. Panty Raiders picking up the win, 118 to 113. 5.2 points he beat him by. So that was a close one, but he hangs on. Led by Melvin Gordon with 24. Other than that, he didn't really have any strong outings. Adam Thielen had a nice day, I guess, with 19. Billy led by Kirk Cousins with 41.5 points. Nice day. And unfortunately, it wasn't the strongest quarterback day, which is surprising. But we'll get to that in a bit. But that moves Panty Raiders to 1-1, and that drops Billy to 1-1 and leaves him in the third spot. Moving over to Hanging with Hernandez versus Ray's Finkles. Hanging with Hernandez, picking up the win in this one, 110 to 103. Another tight game, actually. But he needed that win after that Week 1 loss to Joe Buck Yourself, where he put up decent points. It just wasn't enough. Led by Phillip Rivers, 28 points. And that was really his one stud for the day, and that was all he needed. Race Finkles had Andrew Luck put up 15. Brandon Cooks was 15, and his safety put up 15, but the rest of his team kind of shit the bed. So that drops Ray Finkles to 1-1 and moves Hanging with Hernandez to 1-1. Let's move over to Clug the Plug versus Rogers Dodgers. Rogers Dodgers had the lead going into the Monday night game. Clug the Plug having Russell Wilson playing, and it wasn't looking good. He managed to squeeze out 18 points. Yeah, the majority of it I would have considered garbage time because, the Bears pretty much dominated that game start to finish. He only had 3 points at one point, though, so pretty sure he was, Clug the Plug was sweating it out pretty good. Regardless, he picks up the win here, 111 to 97. Rogers Dodgers also kind of bucking the trend here. Normally put up, big points, 130, 140. Didn't even crack a hundy this week. But starting Tyrod Taylor, quarterback. Yeah, Tyrod. Now, weird, I guess, when you got Aaron Rodgers, but maybe he's playing the matchup. I don't know. Seems a little bizarre. Regardless, Clug the Plug picking up the win, moves into 1-1, and drops Rogers Dodgers to 1-1. Moving over to Rosterbation versus the Iredell Beckhams. Rosterbation picking up the win in this one, 123 to 97. Again, another team failing to crack a hundy. Iredell Beckham's kind of struggling a bit out of the gate here, but if there's one thing we know, they can turn it around. So, Rosterbation led by Drew Brees again. Juju Smith-Schuster had a nice day, and McCaffrey's always relatively solid. And Iredell Beckham's led by Kareem Hunt and Tom Brady. So, Rosterbation moves up to 1-1. The Iredell Beckhams falls to 0-2, and that puts him in the basement right out of the gate. But hey, good thing it's a 13-week season and not a 2-week season. And our final game of the week, Suck My Ditka versus Vic This. Suck My Ditka throwing up a $171 and winning this one by 40 points. I believe that is our blowout of the week, but to put up 131 and still be the blowout of the week, that's rough. And Vic This, Patrick Mahomes, let's talk about this guy. Drops 50.8 fantasy points, 6 passing touchdowns, breaks the NFL record for 10 touchdowns in 2 games. This kid might be the real deal. But again, that's a 17-week season, not a 2-week season, so we'll see. But he sure looks good right now. He's not missing Mariota at all. So Patrick Mahomes, stud of the week, and KC just fucking throttled Pittsburgh. The score was closer than I think really what it should have been with that 42-37 final. But kid looks good. And Suck My Ditka opting to start Big Ben, and probably pretty glad they did because he put up 45 points. So in a losing effort. And then Todd Gurley with 30 points. DeAndre Hopkins with 17. What else do we have here? Robbie Gould, 14. Kiko Alonso with 17. It was just a massive week for Suck My Ditka. 171 to 131. That's your blowout of the week. Well, it wouldn't be the blowout of the week without this. So, Mr. Flash, unfortunately, in your strong effort with 131 points, you are the blowout of the week. That's a tough one. But it is what it is, and you just gotta keep on trucking, keep on grinding, whatever. So, and our jackass of the week. Well, that one is going to go to Rogers Dodgers, Mr. Craig Travers. Tyrod Taylor. Come on. Tyrod Taylor, and you got Aaron Rodgers sitting on your bench. I understand maybe you're trying to play the matchup. No, I don't understand, honestly. This is Cleveland, Tyrod Taylor versus Aaron Rodgers. I don't get it. That's a very bizarre thing to do. And, did it cost you your match? No. The rest of your team shit the bed, too. So it doesn't really matter, but Tyrod Taylor is not going to give you a better chance to win than Aaron Rodgers, and I don't care what the fucking matchup is. So Aaron Rodgers is a must start. That'd be like me sitting Jordan Howard in favor of fucking LeGarrette Blount. Doesn't happen. So regardless, you are our Jackass of the Week for week 2. Let's pour over the standings here real quick. just because I said I would. So in the Rockstar division, we have Joe Buck Yourself leading the way, and first overall, not only leading his division, but first overall with 284 points for. Looking strong, looking solid out of the gate. Second overall, Suck My Ditka with also a 2-0 record with 278 points for, so there's a tight battle there. Billy Large sitting in third, 270 points for. He's second in the Benchwarmer division. And LOD, Legion of Doom, I don't know. Sure. Sitting in fourth with a 1-1 record, putting up 256 so far.